Hey friends, it's Bakabee. Today I'm excited to show you the transformation of my spice drawer. It used to be such a cluttered mess that using it became a real struggle, and cooking was a lot less enjoyable. If you have been following me, you know I'm all about organization. In this video, I will walk you through how I turn it around, different ways to label your spice jar to fit your setup, and how my spice drawer looks now, and whether it's worth upgrading. Whether you have a label maker or a Cricut machine, you will have the tools you need to complete this project. I hope this inspires you to give your spice drawer a makeover if it's in a similar state. So let's get started. Let's talk about the issues with my old spice drawer. As my spice collection grew, I ended up shopping at multiple stores to find what I needed. This led to a mix of different sized bottles and jars. The result was a cluttered drawer that made finding anything a real hustle. These mismatched containers also created inconsistency in how I used them. Some bottles had built-in filters, while others didn't. This meant I had to use a teaspoon for some spices and just pour others directly. As you can see, the disorganization made cooking more frustrating and less fun, which was definitely not the goal. I knew I needed a better solution to streamline everything and make my cooking experience more pleasant. I did quite a bit of online research before choosing this set, and I found the variety of options slightly overwhelming. Since this is a long-term investment and something I'll be using daily, it was important to choose wisely. I would recommend taking the time to find a set that fits your needs too. It's worth it for something you will use every day. Then I found this set to be the perfect fit for my drawer in terms of size and functionality. Each bottle is made of glass with a stainless steel lid, which matches the style of my kitchen. By the way, everything I used for this project is linked in the description box below. Feel free to click on the links to learn more and see if they are the right fit for your kitchen. For me, one standout feature of these spice jars is their lid. It claims to provide a tight seal, so I did a leak test. And as you can see, it passed. This solid seal helps keep my spices and herbs stored better and fresher for longer. The set includes a total of 45 filters in 3 different sizes, quite generous since there are only 25 bottles per set. It also comes with a cleaning brush, a labeling pen, and 2 collapsible funnels, which are quite cute. Additionally, both blank and pre-printed labels are included as well, so you can customize them to suit your needs. I find this as super handy for anyone like me who wants to easily transform their spice drawer. It really takes the hustle out of organizing and makes the whole process a breeze, which really surprised me. Now the first step to getting the jars ready for use is cleaning. I washed the jars using the handy cleaning brush, lids, funnels, and filters thoroughly to ensure they were spotless. Once everything was dry, I was ready to start filling them with my spices. I initially used the funnel, but the herbs kept getting stuck, so I decided to skip the funnel and pour the herbs directly into the bottles. It worked out much better. For the herbs, I used a filter with bigger holes to make pouring easier. Then I put the lid on, which already had the temporary labels from a label maker, so I could start using them right away. For the ground spices, I use a teaspoon to minimize mess and choose a filter with smaller holes for better portion control. For the seeds, once again, I just pour straight into the jars directly, and I choose a filter with the one side featuring small holes and the other side with a flip top, which make it easier to pour the seeds out. I like this flip top design a lot because it is really handy and convenient for handling seeds. Then just continue filling up the spice jars with your spices until they are all done. Let me know which area in your kitchen you think needs the most attention. Before putting the jars back in the drawer, I wiped it with a damp cloth to ensure there was no powder or dry herb slabs. This is how it looks with temporary labels, but due to the text is quite small and hard to see, which is not ideal. But I did put them on anyway because I wanted to start using the spice bottle right away after filling them. But now I'm going to show you a few different ways to label your spice bottles, from the simplest to the more advanced. Depends on the tools you have on hand. I'm sure there's an option that will suit your needs. Let's start with the simplest option, using the pre-printed labels. This works great if your bottles stand up on a shelf or lay flat in a drawer. Look at that, how simple is that? Neat and clear, isn't it? If these labels don't suit your layout, another option is to write on the blank labels using labeling pen, which is also included in the package. Then simply stick them on top of the lid. This method also looks cool and stylish. If you like, you can even combine both options. Another way to create labels is by using a label maker. There are many options on the market, but they all essentially do the same job, creating labels. This is my label maker and the brand is called Brother. I bought it almost 10 years ago, it still works perfectly. This is their newer model PTQ Bluetooth label printer. You can design and print labels straight away from your smartphone, which is really handy. I bought one for my mom last year. To use it, you need to insert a tape into the machine, and there are various tape options available, including different colors, transparent tape, white, black, red, yellow labels. You simply type the text using the keyboard. By default, the font size is large. Once you are happy with it, press print. The label maker will print one label by default. Then press OK and it will start printing. When it's done, press this big green button to cut the label from the tape. And there you have it. Trim off the excess and peel away the backing. Then carefully position the label in the center. I recommend using a pair of tweezers to hold one side as the label is quite small. Here's another label with longer text. Let me show you how to fit it on the lid. First, trim the label slightly narrower. Then cut it to fit the words. Peel away the backing and position the pieces on the lid as you like. Here they are, both look clean and organized, don't they? The next option is a bit more advanced because it requires a professional cutting machine, the Cricut Maker. I find this machine brilliant. It can cut all sorts of materials. The one I'm going to show you is just one of the hundreds it can handle. I use it to create labels that I use all over my house, in the kitchen, for my baking supply, linen cupboard. I just love it. Let me know if you would like me to make a video to show you how I create them using this fantastic machine. For this project, you will need a cutting mat, a Cricut standard grip machine mat, some removable vinyl, transfer tape, a weeder, a pair of tweezers, a pair of scissors, a scraper, and of course a Cricut Maker. First of all, to design the labels, I need to open Cricut Design Space on my laptop. I will start by adding some text. Next, I will change the font. Feel free to use any fonts that suits your style. Then group the words together and align them to the center horizontally. To adjust the height and the width separately, ensure that the padlock icon is unlocked here. I know I need the label to be 3.6 by 2 cm. Now go to the sidebar here to add a circle to represent the lid of the jars, so I can see exactly how the labels will look. I adjust the size to 4.3 cm and change the color to light gray to match the lid. The color doesn't really matter since the circle will be deleted when we start cutting the labels. Place it on top of the circle, arrange it to the front. Now I can see if there is any adjustment I need. I think it's pretty good. This is exactly what I want, clean and neat design. Once you are happy with it, move the label text away from the circle, then weld it together so that the machine knows how we want it to be cut. Continue creating as many labels as you need by following the same steps. Once it's done, delete the circle. Press Make to start cutting the labels. Design Space will show you the exact amount of vinyl you will need. Just follow the X and Y coordinates displayed on your screen. Here's how I place the vinyl onto the mat and then press the power button to turn the machine on. Then press Continue. Select vinyl as your material and adjust the pressure. Since these are small labels, I select more pressure from the drop-down menu here. Follow the instructions on the screen and load the blade, which should already be in place, along with the mat by pressing the Load Unload Mat button on the machine. Once the machine accepts the material, the screen will move to the next step, cutting, prompting you to press the Go button on the machine. Once you press Go, the machine starts cutting. I appreciate that it shows the progress on the screen. When the cutting is complete, it will prompt you to unload the mat. Just press the Load Unload Mat button again. Now, I like to remove the vinyl from the grid mat first since this is very sticky. Then I use the weeder to remove the background. It should come off easily because we use the more pressure setting. Once it's done, your label should look something like this. Pretty cool, right? Then I like to cut the labels one by one, which I find easier to handle, and weed out the parts inside the letters. Now the label is ready, so how to stick it onto the lid? We need a piece of transfer tape. It needs to be slightly bigger than the label. Peel off the backing. Place the label on the sticky side. Use the pair of tweezers to adjust the position until it looks right. I like using the cutting mats because the grid helps me align the transfer tape and the label perfectly. Use the scraper to ensure the labels adheres well. Then carefully peel off the vinyl. I found it's easier to use the weeder to help keep the labels in place. Take your time with this step since the tiny letters are delicate and can easily shift, affecting the neatness of your design. Once it's done, the label should look something like this. Now we can remove the temporary label and apply the custom label to the lid. Since the label is small, I recommend using the pair of tweezers to hold one corner of the transfer tape while you position it. Carefully align it in the center and gently press it down. Finally, peel off the transfer tape. Ta-da! Isn't that neat and clear? I'm really happy with how it turned out. Continue applying the rest of the labels. I can say it takes some time and requires attention to detail. I really hope one of these options suits your needs and helps make your spice drawer get organized. Let's enjoy the exciting moment. Now let's put these spice bottles to the test in actual cooking. Here I have two beautiful salmon fillets, which I usually marinate with dill, smoked paprika, chili flakes, some salt and pepper as well. As you can see, I know exactly how each bottle works. No more switching between a teaspoon for one and pouring for another. This setup definitely simplifies the cooking process. Dinner is served in just under 20 minutes. Oven-baked salmon with sweet peas on a bed of couscous. Yum! Now I store the excess and backup spices and herbs in this extra long container. If I find any bottles are empty, I check this container for backups before heading to the supermarket. My motto is that being well organized helps save money. I also keep this container right above the spice drawer for easy access. Now my spice drawer is no longer a mess. My final thought is, first of all, I feel blessed to have a dedicated drawer for all my spices and herbs. I truly believe this upgrade was totally worth it. These bottles create a uniform look with consistent size and shapes, making the drawer so much neater, cleaner, more functional, and easy to maintain. The kitchen is the heart of the home, so why not make it visually appealing? This setup not only looks great, but also make it easier to access and use your spices, inspiring more creativity in cooking and baking. From an efficiency standpoint, you invest some money, time, and efforts upfront, but in the long run, it ultimately saves you on all fronts. No matter where or how you store your spices, I hope this video gives you some practical ideas for organizing them efficiently. Alright, please like this video if you found this useful and inspiring, and share it with anyone who might need some help with organizing their spice drawers. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, I would love to answer them. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of my new videos. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!